Hey everyone, today we are building a beautiful Glassmorphism login form using only HTML and CSS. You can see we have a login form placed at the center of the screen. The dark background color with colorful blurred circles create a modern and attractive look. At the top we have a sign in heading. Below that we have two input fields. The first one is for the email address and second one is for the password. One interesting feature of this form is the floating label animation. When I click inside an input field, the label smoothly moves upward. This makes the design look more professional and user-friendly. Next, we have a login button with beautiful gradient background. When I hover over the button, it creates a glowing effect which improves the overall user experience. At the bottom of the card, we have two links, forgot password or create account. These links also have hover effect for better interactivity. This is a great beginner friendly project for practicing modern CSS. So let's start coding. First, we will create an HTML file and add the standard boilerplate code. Then change the title. Login form, learn code easy. Then connect the CSS file with this HTML file. Inside the body, we will create a card that will contain our login form. So I will create a div with the class name card. Inside this card, let's add heading. Heading will be sign in. Now we need two input fields, one for email address and one for password. To keep things organized, I will wrap each input inside a div called input group. Inside the first input group, I will add an input field with type text. And below it, I will add a label saying email. We will do the same thing for the password. This time the input type will be password and label will be password. Next, let's add a login button. Finally, at the bottom, I will add two links, one for forgot password and another one for create account. Our HTML structure is now ready. Let's open this with the live server. You can see here everything looks very plain because we haven't added any CSS yet. Now let's start styling. First, I will remove the default margin and padding from all elements. And I'll also add box sizing border box because it makes layouts easier to manage. And let's use the Poppins font family for modern look. Now let's style the body. I want everything to appear in the center of the screen, so I will use display flex, align item center. I will set the height to 100 VH, so it takes the full screen height. For the background, let's use the dark color. I'll use has 0F172A and overflow hidden. Now let's create the glowing background effect. For this, I will use the before and after pseudo elements on the body. These elements will act as a glowing circles. Position absolute. Then I'll give them a fixed width and height 300 pixel. Make them circular using border radius 50%. And add a large blur effect. First circle will have a pink color. And place them in the top left corner. Top left. The second circle will have a blue color. And place them in the bottom right corner. Now you can see here a beautiful glowing background. Now let's style the login card. I will set the width to 350 pixel and add some padding. Round the corners using border radius. Now comes to the most important part, the Glassmorphism Effect. For that I will use backdrop filter blur 20 pixel. Then the transparent white background using RGBA. I will also add a subtle border. And finally a box shadow to give some depth. Then add color, position relative and Z index 1. Now the card looks like frosted glass. This is exactly the Glassmorphism effect. Now let's style the heading. I will align it to the center and add some spacing below it. Now let's work on the input fields. Position relative and margin bottom 25 pixel. Then dot input group input. I will make the input background transparent. Remove the default border and add a thin border at the bottom. I will also set the text color to white. Font size 16 pixel. Outline none. Now for the labels. I will position them absolute. Initially, they will sit inside the input field, but when the user clicks the input or enters text, I want the label to move upward. This is called floating label effect. Using CSS selector and transition, we can smoothly animate the label. Look at that. Here I need to add required in the input fields. Now look at that. When I click inside the input, the label move up smoothly. This creates a professional user experience. Now let's style the login button. I will make it full width. Add some padding. Remove the border. Round the corners. And apply a blue gradient background. For hover effect, let's add a glowing shadow. Now whenever the user hover the button, it creates a nice glow effect. Now let's style the footer link. Justify content, space between. Now the forgot password link will have a soft color. Font size 13 pixel. Account link. And the create account link will use the same blue accent color as our design. Now let's add the hover effect. And there we go. We have successfully built a modern Glassmorphism login form using only HTML and CSS. If you enjoy the project, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. In the next project, we will build another beautiful HTML and CSS design from scratch. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.